Imagine for a second that you're about to go to bed at night when you all of a sudden remember this important video conference, the Zoom call that you need to attend the following day, right? So you pull out your journal or your planner and you say, oh gosh, I better write this down before I forget. And you start jotting it down and blocking it off in your calendar so that you can remember. But then one thought leads to another thought. And now, all of a sudden, you've got this flurry of stressful thoughts. You start stressing out about everything else that you've got on your plate this week. And then before you know it, you're inundated with a flurry of anxiety-inducing thoughts. Your meeting tomorrow is on video and your home office looks like a war zone. You've got tons of upcoming deadlines to meet for work and you don't know how you're going to get it all done. You've got a never-ending list of tasks on your to-do list. Your car needs an oil change. Your inbox seems to fill up the moment you clear it out, and on and on and on and on and on. And you think, gosh, man, I can't believe how much stuff I have to do. This is driving me crazy. And you'd be absolutely right in thinking that. If you continue down that path of thinking, you will go crazy. But there is a better way. Here are a few ideas on how to get better at preventing thought attacks like this if they come about in your life and in your mind, and to prevent them from spiraling out of control and overwhelming you in the process, and to regain control over the voice in your head so you can stay focused and so that you can maintain your attention on any given thing that matters most in that moment. So, the first thing to keep in mind, step one, is to be your own coach, meaning pretend like you're helping a close friend who comes to you for advice on how to stop negative mental chatter, stressful thoughts. How would you help them regain their own sense of calm and their sense of clarity, their sense of focus? How would you help them? For example, I might say, if I'm talking to myself, I'm, remembering something just like the example we just mentioned, and I start writing it down, but then all of a sudden I start thinking about all the other stuff that I need to do, and now it's stressing me out, and now I'm making things bigger than they are, and I'm starting to think about how I won't be able to get it all done, and what am I going to do, and this and that. And so how do I stop that mental chatter? How do I prevent that snowball of stress from building up? Well, I might talk to myself by saying something like, hey, Dean, look, first of all, the mental chatter's coming up, man. Catch yourself, baby. You've got a lot going on right now, but if you decide what matters most right now and stay focused on that, it'll be easier to stop the snowball effect before it starts to stress you out, right? So talk to yourself like you might talk to a friend, a close friend who comes to you for advice. That's step one. Be your own coach. Talk to yourself. Step two, practice noticing what's actually happening in your mind before that flurry of thoughts turns into a snowball of stress, right? Simply be aware of your thoughts as they're beginning to build momentum. Practice noticing them as they arise. And then that leads us into step three, which is to catch yourself. So once you're aware that a mental snowball is beginning to take shape, you'll need to catch yourself and stop yourself, right? So you notice it, and then you catch that bad boy before it gets too big. And the sooner you can do this, the better and easier it'll be to calm yourself down. So let's run back to the example from earlier that we just went over about going to bed and then getting stressed out. Right before bed, you remember you've got this video call that you need to attend, this video conference for work tomorrow. You quickly jot it down in your calendar, and then as all the other stressful thoughts begin to arise in your mind, you notice them as they arise, and then you catch yourself before you start thinking about everything else that you need to do by saying something like, hey, whoa, there goes that voice in my head again. Let's get back on track. What matters right now? Let's focus on that, right? Simply noticing it and then catching it will help you. And it seems simple and simplistic, and it is, but it's also effective, right? Complex problems don't always need complex solutions. Sometimes a complex, stressful problem requires just a simple solution. And this is that. Coaching yourself, talking to yourself like you would advise a friend, noticing the stressful thoughts as they arise, and then catching them before they get too big, before they stress you out, before they make you too anxious to focus on what matters in any given moment, right? So you say something like, ha, there goes my voice again, or ha, there goes that voice in my head again. Let's get back on track, right? There I go again. Let's get back into what matters most right now. Or what do I need to do right now? And that might mean that you need to focus on a priority for work, a project you're working on. Or that might mean you got to stop thinking about all this crap so you can actually get some rest and recharge and renew for the following day. Get some sleep, right? Sometimes that's what matters most. And so this process can help you with that and really help you maintain that sense of authority over your own life. Because look, we're talking to ourselves all day long, whether we realize it or not. And so if you can keep those conversations in your head, that voice in your head, in a growth-oriented, positive state, in a sense of control over that voice, so that it's giving you thoughts, you're having conversations in your head that will help you rather than hurt you. I mean, why not do that? Why not figure out how to make that happen? So catch those thoughts. And then once you do that, now you can just shut down that pattern of thinking before it turns into a giant stressful snowball and replace it with feelings of gratitude for having remembered that you've got this meeting tomorrow, this work thing tomorrow, or whatever it may be. So to review, if you suffer from the snowball effect of the voice in your head and it's stressing you out, you can get better at staying in control by talking to yourself like you talk to a friend. That's number 1. Step 2, notice the chatter. Step 3, practice catching yourself before that snowball gets too big. Try these tips next time you're overwhelmed or distracted by your own mental chatter, and you will be surprised at how effective and stress relieving it can actually be.